don't automatically include yourself in my plans if I'm, planning something or if something is going on. I might just want to be out on my own. And some people, I think, get caught up in not wanting to hurt that other person's feelings or,
That
and
type of
so
jazz. Yeah.
yeah, and so what happens is you end up resenting one another. Somebody ends up resenting somebody.
We face our problems every day. It seems they'll never fade away. The world may bring us down. Tonight we're gonna turn it around. So let's put it all on the table. Talk about it if you're willing and able. Life's love and insecurities and a laugh or two. Come and take a seat. So bring your concerns to us. Together we can discuss what's on your mind. No matter what you go through, just know we'll be here for you every time. Let's talk about it. Blind table talk. Let's talk about it. Blind table talk. We gotta be about
What's going down, y'all? Welcome to Blind Table Talk. This is your boy Jay Fleeks. I already know security of the community. What's happening?
And I am your host, Saida Victoria, aka Sassy Side. Welcome to the table, y'all.
Welcome back to the table, y'all. We're so happy to have y'all back sitting down with us. What's going on, listeners?
Yes, and we have such an exciting show for y'all today. You are really gonna enjoy it.
Yes, we do. We really do got a good one for y'all tonight. But before we jump into that, I really got to get something off my chest, Sassy.
Okay, let's hear it. What you gotta get off your chest?
So I had me a little experience at the little store not too long ago where I had to get some little sighted guide assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what this person did. Instead of allowing me to grab their shoulder or elbow or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This person said, "Nah, I'm gonna grab your shirt," and grab the edge of my t-shirt as if, like almost like ill. I want to help, but I don't want to touch.
I
Like
don't want to touch
I
you.
think I might. You might give me blindness. I'm sorry. Cooties. Dot cootie shot like type. I'm like, come on, man. People, blindness is not contagious. You
Right.
know what I'm talking about? I mean, it probably could have been a little mixture of like, leftover, not leftover, but COVID still, Anyway, that's another, ordeal. But I don't know. But the fact that she grabbed my t-shirt,
Yeah.
not
No,
even
I
my
know.
t-shirt, my sleeve. My sleeve, y'all.
Right. You can't catch blindness, y'all. You can't catch it. It's not
Not at all.
something that's going to rub off on you or you're going to get it on your fingers.
None of that. So I just wanted to put that out there for real, for our listeners and all that. If y'all didn't know, like Sassy just said, blindness is not contagious.
Yeah, but the thing is, and I guess that's another thing too about personal space too. Maybe that person may not, have been comfortable.
But they chose to help me because I was looking. I guess
Lost, like a little lost blind man.
I wasn't lost. I was almost to the door, but I'm talking about
Right.
like I was
Yeah.
using my cannon, and they was like, "Hey, would you like some help?" I was like, "For sure. I'm really trying to get to the little customer service area." Okay, can I hold your shoulder? I was like, "Well, no, I just grab your shirt." What? And then I was like, no, this is not gonna work. Like, if you don't mind, I just hold your shirt, like your shoulder weight. It's like, okay, like eventually, but
Right.
I'm just mad that this is where she start off, and it was just
Well, actually, she started off the right way. So we want to give credit where credit's due, right? Because she did ask you if you needed
true
help.
that, true that.
So,
Kudos,
and
yeah,
that we
yeah,
don't get that a lot either.
that is true. She came out of nowhere for
Right.
sure.
And unfortunately, she, felt maybe that she didn't want you touching her. So, but that's a
I
whole
mean,
another thing. But thank you
yeah,
for asking. Did we need help? Because
but
that's what we try
grabbing
to
a
promote.
man t-shirt, the sleeve. I'm still just the sleeve of the t-shirt, just like ew, no,
Yeah.
please, please don't give that to me. Like, all right.
Yes. Well. That was an unfortunate experience, but it's glad that we have the platform to be able to share that. And for those that did not know,
This is what this platform is for.
yes, blindness is not contagious.
Not at all.
Can't catch it. But maybe she just didn't, I don't know. You
Hey,
can.
hey, pound game to Shawty that helped me out though.
After
For
all
sure.
that.
After all that, pound game, for real. She did that.
So, all right. Well, we might as well just, share and jump right into our show and get started. But before we do, let's go ahead and give our listeners a little preview of what we got up and coming.
All righty, let's go ahead and drop down this list, this little dinner list right here. We're going to be going over our BVI discussions dealing with the unemployment rate and just why is it so high, y'all?
For our BVI community, the unemployment rate. Yes, absolutely. And then we also have our BVI community seat coming up. Y'all, that
Mm,
is where we highlight organizations that are for the BVI community.
she
And
made me smile so hard. I'm loving what she's doing. Like incredible. I can't wait for y'all to hear.
yeah, so this is going to be Debbie Sanders with MLV organization.
My limitless vision.
Yes, yes, that's exactly who.
You go, girl. Do that, Debbie. Yes, indeed. We so happy.
And then we have our BVI relationship talk. We got a question in from our Facebook group, which we love. But then we also have a very special announcement. We have a few special announcements today, y'all. So
Yeah, y'all don't want to miss these announcements that we have going on. You know, a lot of things coming out here.
we have some very good information to share with y'all. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, grab a seat, pull up to the table.
Hey, let's jump into this show, y'all. Let's get to it.
Blind table talk, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, it is time for our BVI discussion. So we have a good topic on the table, I'm sure. Mr. Fleeks, won't you tell us what we have?
All right, y'all. Let's jump into it. Tonight, we are talking about unemployment in the BVI community. Did y'all know that 3.5 million of us, 70% is still unemployed in the nation? Like that is some really scary numbers, man. Like that's nah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, this has been a struggle for us. I mean, disabled people, period. But for blind or visually impaired, we have our own struggles, and we've had them for a long time with obtaining employment.
Yeah,
But there's multiple reasons because sometimes we have to look at self as well.
true.
But what are, what reasons do you think are possible for that such a high unemployment rate?
Well, part of it I feel could be, lack of transportation,
Yeah.
just being in the area where you're at, just like not being able to get on a city bus or something, or, paying transit is not the greatest, or not being able to afford an Uber, things like that. I would thought this number would have changed being in 2024, but unfortunately, we're still having this issue. So,
Yeah. Okay. So another reason could be um negative attitudes of employers, the way that people see us blind people, you know, this is where I know you had mentioned this before about liabilities and potential problems that companies think they will have from hiring a blind person. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well, because sometimes, and here's another thing, y'all, we have to take some accountability for ourselves as well, because let me tell you, there are some of us out there that probably give off a bad, I don't even want to know what it says, or bad reputation for us blind people. Because some of us are very needy acting from the jump, oh, I can't do that. I can't do this. And so sometimes these are the people that they have come across, and I'm talking about employers So when they see another one,
I don't want to deal with it.
yeah, I remember the interaction I had with that one blind person, and she was always complaining about this, or he was
Just such
always trying
negative
to do.
energy.
Yes. So, it could be that their experience with other blind people may not have been. But then at the end of the day, I still think it is the lack of education on their end of thinking that because we're blind, we can't do anything.
Hey, and you know what? That's what I was going to say. It could be like just the lack of skill sometimes. Just going from maybe sighted into the blind community, or just not being taught like the computer skills. Technology has definitely improved over time. And so it requires a lot more, especially these companies now going, a lot more remote and using Microsoft and things like that. So sometimes it could just be that lack of training, just not having those computer skills.
And that's true too. And another thing is that confidence, we always speak about that, right? And it's not having the confidence in yourself. And once people do have the skills that are needed and all that, if they don't have the confidence of knowing and believing in themselves that they can do the job, that shows. That shows when you're in your interview, if you get that far, because that's even a challenge in itself sometimes.
Yes, indeed.
But, that confidence, you have to go in there knowing and showing that you have what it takes to get this job done.
And another one, even with the confidence, you can even like have the job, but then sometimes it's the lack of accommodations, not having enough in the workplace to allow you to be successful at the job. And then, it's just going through that type of ordeal time after time. And like I said, now in 2024, you would thought a lot of these battles would have been, depleted by now, but
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's probably going to be a forever battle. Um, But then, let's not forget, and I'm going to say, and you guys, we're not, any kind of experts or anything on this. This is just
None
our
at all.
opinions and
True
things
that.
that we've seen doing some
And
research
that
and
we've
stuff.
been through.
Right. And,
Right
in
on.
the community, we've been in this community a long time and we've seen a lot
Yeah.
of different things. But one of the main things that always
Oh, I think I know.
pops up is fear of losing those Social Security benefits,
Man. I
you know. Um,
don't know why they do that.
I know, but here's the thing. So there, and we get to make more than other disabilities because that's that whole separation of blindness and disability, whatever. But there is a certain amount of money that you can make before they even touch your Social Security benefits. So, and I don't think people know that. So sometimes it's about researching and don't go and ask. I don't want to say Pookie and
I was about to
Tyrone,
say
but
poking down right now. What
they don't
Kim folk
know.
around the corner?
Right. You're asking people. I mean, I've seen it put
It's
in
just
groups,
reporting, y'all. You just gotta
I've
report your numbers
yeah, that
for
too. But
sure.
I've seen it put in groups. Hey, how much can I do? Or, will I lose my benefits? The Facebook groups are good for information and resources and all that stuff to find out, but that should not be where you get your information from. Okay.
Right
That
on.
can be a guide that can help you, but when you have questions about Social Security, the best person to ask about that is Social Security.
Real.
Or, there's actually advocates or people out there that are, I think they're benefit people that,
Consultants type,
yeah,
yeah, a few little
exactly.
agencies out there that are willing to sit down with you and explain the process that you
Yeah.
need. But there's nothing better than really just reaching out to Social Security and just going through that process, talking with the agent.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and sit on that phone for 7 hours.
I had to
And
do it, but
I've done it too, though.
the outcome definitely was better. But since we went down, different, tips on, the lack thereof, what can our BVI community really do? Like, what can they do to make this better to help them on this unemployment? What you think?
Well, okay. First of all, have your skills up to par as far as your independent living skills, your orientation and mobility skills, because That is step one. And that goes for anything that you do, right? You don't want to go to a job and not know how to use a cane or have to, stand there and ask for somebody to come and help you. I
Yeah,
think that
real.
having your skills, your O&M, your independent living skills up to par is going to make a big difference,
Yeah.
on that side of things.
Yeah, and another one I feel since everything has went to these AI and smartphones and such, I really feel that people need to be more up to date and have this tool more skillful. The iOS, like they really need to know how to use these devices. iPads, iPhones, Mac device. Like you should be involved and just be aware of these and just have some basic movies of it for real.
Technologies.
Yes.
Don't walk around talking about you don't know how to call anybody or text somebody or get your emails. You want to make sure you have all of that. Which is comes to your job readiness skills.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, okay? And then I'm a manager. I've hired. I've interviewed people. If you go into an interview and you do not, or you don't act like, or you don't talk like, or you don't know what you're doing or saying about the job, about your technology, about anything, that is a red flag. If somebody asks you, okay, well, we have this position, how are you going to do this job, your duties? And you say something like, oh, I don't know. Well, you're going to, I thought you were going to tell me how to do it. No, you
Mm-mm-mm.
have to be prepared to show these people that are not really wanting to hire you because of your
Mm,
disability. You have
exactly.
to show them. And those are part of, so job readiness skills are so much more than just learning technology and learning all that. It's learning how to be and do the job and be on the job as a blind or visually impaired person.
And that is so real. You must adapt and survive and just know what your skill level is and what you're able to do to make yourself more successful at the job. And I feel a way to really do that and to get yourself out there is to actually like go attend classes to get certifications. There's classes out there to help with customer service, job ordeals, administration. Like there's different, you know,
Well, there's something for everything. That's the
exactly.
thing,
And that's
and
what you can do that to go, help yourself feel more confident and be once you get in the interview, like, hey, I got a certification, I'm able to do this, and you'll know what you're able to do and able to explain to this employee, how you're gonna be able to get this job done.
it just helps. I mean, even going to school, having a degree. The thing is because we're competing amongst sighted people that
Yeah.
have degrees and have trouble getting jobs. So the job, sometimes it's not easy for a lot of people to get jobs. But
Right.
when you're competing, you still want to stay on that level where you can compete. I
Yeah.
remember back in the day, a degree really wasn't required to get many jobs, right? But
Hmm.
now, even, I mean, you can have a degree in freaking clown school and that person will get the job before somebody who does not have a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate.
It is, but that's the way it's going.
We have to stay in line. Another thing though too, and this is so important and people don't realize this. Every one of us lives in a state, obviously.
Hmm.
Each state has some form of blind division services that assist blind and visually impaired. Okay.
Some type of booklet.
No, I'm talking about an agency that you can go. Like we have used to be DARS here, Texas Workforce Commission too. We all have an agency that we can get assistance from. Now, I know people say, oh, they're a joke, they don't do this, they don't do that, but that's up to you to, you know, stay on top of them. And because I will tell you guys right now, each one of these states, there are funds that are allotted to assist blind and visually impaired individuals specifically. These are monies that they are granted to spend on us. So when you are trying to get your job readiness skills and your trainings and your equipment, your computer, your assistive tech, all of that stuff, they're there. they're there.
Yeah.
They're there
We know it
to,
might be a little slow. You just got to
it
stay on
is,
top of
and
them.
it can be, and it will. But, I always tell my client, I always say, be a bugaboo. Y'all know what a bugaboo is, that pain in
Yeah.
the butt that won't leave you the hell alone, but you'll get it. And I
I
promise
mean,
you,
emails, call daily.
yes,
Stay on top of them.
I have said, and I've been through the system, the state agency. I've done that. I mean, it was a point where I was every night leaving a voicemail. So the first message they got the next
You
day
too?
was me,
Yeah. I'm talking
you
about
know?
every day.
Yes. And it,
Getting
it
it
gets to
in.
the point where they say, you know what, let me hurry up and give this person these services so they can leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. They
And
already know when they see the name on the email, like, okay, he just gonna keep sending them in.
right, right.
Yes, indeed. I surely
And
am.
it's unfortunate, y'all. Don't think that we're saying, hey, it's okay that it's like this. It's not,
No,
but
you just must do what you got to do.
you got to do what you got to do.
Even send it to the secretary,
Yeah, the
like
assistant. No,
the
sometimes you
assistant.
get more
Yes,
work. Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes you get more results out of that. But a lot of us sit there and, we filled out the application. Well, I called them 3 weeks ago or a month ago. They ain't
ain't
never called
enough.
me back.
That's not
Well,
enough.
did you ever call them back?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're also looking at who is committed, who is dedicated, who is serious about wanting to find work, who is, because they're not just
Right.
going to give equipment and all these services and pay for this and pay for somebody who is, you know, halfway doing it on their end.
Not at all. They really want to see you like actually kind of, show
It
yourself, show
shows,
your worth.
yes, show that
Exactly.
you want it, and your results will be a lot different. And I've spoke to counselors through these state agencies who have said that, the more people let us know, they're more willing to scoot that little process up to the top of the pile so that they can help that person, because there's some people that they're only doing it because, somebody else is forcing them to do it, or it's not really what they want to do. But when you are showing them that this is what you want to do to better your life, to get a job, to do, they will help you.
A whole lot
Mm.
better for sure.
Because I hate, because everybody's always giving, state agencies a bad rep. And yes, they're slow, and yes, but you have to realize too, there's not as many, there's,
The clientele, the demand,
yes,
you know,
and some states have more blind folks than others.
and they only putting like one or two for per regions
Yeah,
or so. So
right.
it's
So
yeah.
come on, you gotta, but once, it might take 6 months. Might take, hopefully it don't take, I mean, I've seen even longer, but
I done been through it. Not a day. Sometimes you just gotta patience, y'all. Patience and stay on top of them.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
this weird to say. Like you want me to be patient and yes, and be a bugaboo. Yeah, look, you trust the process. Be patient with it, but at the same time, be assertive. Like let them know, like, hey, I'm here. I want to get this information. This is what I want to get set up, and just keep letting them know on a daily. Like, put it on their mind.
That's true. And there's another thing about this, and this goes for in the workplace and with these state agencies. Y'all, you have got to know your rights.
Oh man,
Okay.
real talk. I don't know how many times we can express that enough. Like, you really must know your rights. Like, for real.
Yes, there are certain rights that you have in the workplace as far as accommodations, as far as things that, they need to provide and alter and do for you. And that's in the workplace, right? You need to know.
Yeah.
But also with these state agencies, and I'm going to give you an example about knowing your rights. When you go in there and you say you want to, you do a plan and say you want to go to school to do this, right?
Mm.
And then they say something like, yeah, well, no, I think you should go to this school because, this one's better. If you don't want to go to that school that they're telling you to go to, that you don't have to go to that school, or you don't have to do, your plan is by you.
Mm-hmm.
It's with their
Exactly.
guidance, but they
Your
can't
choice.
tell you what they don't want you to do or what you should not do. And
So many options with that, y'all.
there is so many options. And you know what? And I'm not even because of course I'm talking off of, experiences, but this is where you know your rights. Every time you only do it once, but when you sign up and you fill out that application and you get started with whatever your agency is, you are given your rights. I think it's a pamphlet. It could be digital,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you get it in a format that's readable for you. If you want it digitally, they need to email it to you. If you want it in Braille, it needs to come in Braille. So many times we sign the dotted line, right? And we do not read those rights. And I think,
Press the agree button here. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, I just
exactly.
want the service. Not
Right.
actually read though, y'all. Read that and
Yeah.
understand what you actually signed into.
Yeah. And then, well, what happened with me is when I went to sign and I went into the office and signed it, they handed me a booklet. They handed me a little booklet and said, here's, this is your rights and responsibilities. Sign here to say that you received it. So I signed it. But y'all know I didn't, what did I do with that booklet? I
Hmm.
took it home. I don't even know what I
Slip
did
it
with
in the
it.
purse, like
Yes, exactly.
and we all
But
I slide mine in the backpack and be like, okay, I'm gonna get to it. And out
right.
of sight, out of mind. Y'all know how to go.
And then what? I've got to go and find somebody to read it to me?
Right. So
No,
let
they
them
should
know
have.
what you
I want
need.
it emailed. Can this be emailed to me? Not can this. I need this emailed to me.
Right then, not right
That's
then
the
and there, but you
no,
let
but
them know
this is
right then
how I
and there,
need
like
it.
this is how I need
Yes.
it for sure.
If you're a Braille reader, I need this in Braille
Yeah.
because it should not be left up to somebody else to have to read that pamphlet to me. And I know that I'm not trying to, go on and on about this, but I'm just trying to stress how important that is for you guys to know your rights with your state agencies. And then also in the workplace, if you have to go to, I think there's this disabilityrights.gov. There is a lot of resources out there for you to be able to learn what is the responsibilities of employers, of your state agencies, all kinds of stuff. You guys have to do the research on it. If you don't know, then reach out to somebody for some assistance because they have people that are, that specialize in that type of thing as well.
Yeah, for sure. And would you say it's the same thing for my people who have their own, small business, for my entrepreneurs? Like you must know your rights as well because these agencies will still assist with, what you're trying to do for your business there, like
Well,
equipment wise.
did you know? I never knew that. I never knew
Yeah.
that that was an option. But again, a lot of us don't know that. If you have, let's just say you have a business plan or you want to start your own business, I don't know the criterias, but I do know personally some people that have received funding or assistance in starting their own business. So that's another thing. Good point.
You just must
Good
know it.
to So I mean, I don't think you can go in there and say, I want to start
Oh no,
a
no, no! Please,
make a
no. That's not what
balloon
we're saying.
company.
That's not what you heard us say. Business plan. There was a
Yes, I
proposal
think
written out. Everything was calculated.
right. Yeah, I think, if you're serious about your business and it will show,
Right.
but they can assist with that as well. Again, these are all these things that people don't know are out there to be able to help, to
Make
get you.
yourself better. Like,
Yes.
yes, get you that
Hmm.
job that you need. You've been desiring. Just make yourself feel more confident to go out there and get what you want.
So, and one thing I also want to share, and this goes along with the job readiness skills and the getting yourself prepared, making sure that you are equipped with the skills, the tools, all of that stuff when you go into these jobs, when you go in applying for jobs. There are organizations out there, there's plenty of, I know we just said, go through your state agency, but we also said that can take a long time. In the meantime, it's up to you. It's up to y'all to go in and find ways that you can work on bettering yourself and getting your skills together while you're waiting for them, right?
Right on. I know one organization that be happy to help.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
so, and we, I don't think we've talked about this before, but so we do have an organization. It's called Blind Professionals Network.
BPN. Yeah, I
Yes,
know it.
BPN.
Y'all see us around the expos.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm actually the founder of that. Joseph is our outreach director, and shout out to Cynthia, who is our membership director
Big
as
shout
well.
out. Yes,
And then
indeed.
shout out to the rest of the BPN team as well. But
Our members. Yeah.
the thing is, guys, here's the thing about, and I just want to share about BPM. We've been around since 2019. Okay. Um, we offer different services, employment services, job readiness skills, one-on-one job coaching. We do workshops, presentations, and support group meetings for blind professionals. Okay. Here's the thing, and this is what's sad. All of the services in BPN are free. Okay. For the last 3 years, we have offered free one-on-one JAWS training to anybody who wants to learn JAWS. Free one-on-one trainings.
Don't
Okay.
mean cheap, just free.
But how many, do you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Who
how
have
many
really taken
people?
advantage of it?
And I think
Hello.
I said four before, right?
Yeah.
Four. I don't even think it's been four. Out of the 3 years that we've been offering this, only four people have actually reached out. And these are, you know, trainings that are done by certified trainers. I have people that are certified JAWS trainers and assistive technology trainers that are willing to donate their time and do this for free. And these are, but this is what I'm just, my point is,
Hard to get our community to show up.
there's
Really.
free things out there to help better and improve,
It is.
your skills and overall. But if we don't reach out and obtain them and grasp those resources that are out there, because BPN is not the only one.
No, it's
I'm
not.
just speaking on that because I know firsthand that how hard we work to bring these services and to help our community.
And we just want to let y'all know that it is out here. And,
It is. It is. And there's everything and everything is remote in Zoom.
just a stepping stool.
Yes. But there's others, I don't Hadley School has online things,
Yeah.
classes and trainings and you know what, even the bigger organizations have different things like the ACB and the NFB.
Yeah, the Braille Institute. Like everyone has their different workshops and different programs.
American Printing House has a lot of resources out there for us as well. There are a lot of things out there in this community and for our community that we are not taking advantage of. And we can't blame nobody else but us,
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
you know?
It's like what our country folks say. You give a man a fish, he only gonna eat for that one time. You teach that man to fish, and he gonna eat for the entirety. So that's just what it is, yo. We just trying to like give y'all some suggestions and tips on just how to develop more and make it better to get out there and just be employed.
Right. And this by no means is the
It's
full
not the
list of
expert list.
anything.
No,
Yeah,
it's not the
exactly. It's
expert
just a
list.
few
It's just
things.
what we
I'm
experienced.
And I'm sure there's more out there, and I'm sure that you probably yourselves can think of 10 things to add to what we just spoke on, because we just a brief overview. But at the end of the day, y'all, it's up to you to sell you and improve you and all of that stuff. It's up to you. If you don't want it, you don't want it. If you want it, go get it.
Let's get it.
Blind table talk, yeah.
It is time for our BVI community seats. And coming to the table, we have Miss Debbie Sanders, and she is with MLV Foundation. Welcome to the table, Miss Debbie.
Welcome to the table, Miss Debbie. We are so happy to have you and be a part of the show for sure.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
First and foremost, let's go ahead and start off. And why don't you tell us a little about MLV Foundation and what it is all about.
Yes, indeed.
Well, MLV Foundation actually stands for My Limitless Vision, not to be confused with Major League Baseball.
Right. There's a V.
Right. It's MLV as in Victor, not B as in baseball. And I know with our screen readers and stuff, sometimes it comes across that way. So, but yes, it stands for My Limitless Vision. And I often tell people that even though my sight might be limited, my vision is not. And that's kind of, there's that Helen Keller quote that I'm taking great liberty at paraphrasing there. Um, but that was an inspiration for me naming the nonprofit that I did.
Just for our listeners, how long, when did you start the foundation?
2015, almost 10 years now, whenever I first started it. I started my blindness journey just over 10 years ago. And I started this because was really struggling with trying to find help and resources and encouragement in living the blind life and going through the blindness journey. Because I was in my 40s whenever I started losing my sight. I was working on a NASA grant at Oklahoma State University. It's like, oh wow, and I just finished up my my master's degree. I was working on an educational specialist degree. So, and my whole goal was to be in academia, and I had wanted to run a distance education program. That was what I was going for at the time that I started having vision problems. And then, whenever I started losing my independence with not being able to drive and commuting to work and all this kind of stuff, it just like my whole rug for where I was thinking my life was going to go, that rug was just pulled out from underneath me, and it's like, okay, now what, you know, and I just really struggled finding resources. And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And finding encouragement that there's going to be life after blindness, and I couldn't find it. I thought, if I'm having problems finding out, and finding great examples besides Helen Keller, besides
Mhm.
Ray Charles, and
Right. Yeah,
your Stevie
right,
Wonder, right?
right.
If I can't
Typical.
find any more people that's thriving in the blind life, it's like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
And so it's like, well, I'm just gonna start my own organization and try to help other people going through similar situations, because I know they're out there, because I know if I'm struggling, other people are struggling.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and that is such a good point because that's somewhat, when that time comes when, that sight, that's that journey, and we do feel so alone and we feel like we are the only one. And I always thought I, like you, went blind later in life. And I was like, am I the only one that's just a normal person that just can't see? And I always just felt that way. And I felt like there was nothing out there for me. And you did exactly what is needed. If you can't find it, if it's not out there, create it yourself. And kudos to you. So that rug was pulled out, but baby, it didn't
You made
stay
your own
empty.
rug. What?
Yes, absolutely. So now that we have a little bit of the background for it, what exactly does MLV offer and what is it all about?
Well, we really started out with doing social events because, we are so isolated, and just an opportunity to be around peers like ourselves provides so much encouragement. And it's like, okay, I'm not the only one going through this. So that social aspect was such a big deal. And especially, from a holistic point of view, we need that. And so we do, and we continue to do a lot of social activities. And I would plan trips and excursions and stuff like that. And 2 or 3 times a year, we'd all get a group together and we'd go travel someplace and do things. Our first trip that we did, I did it for a gentleman in Oklahoma who was turning 70 years old, loved trains, had never been on a train. And he said, I'd love to take the Heartland Flyer down to Fort Worth and go on a train ride sometime. It's like, and so I did all the research on what it takes to do Amtrak and to take that particular trip, and found the hotel, talked to the hotel, said we're going to bring a group of blind people down. And if I even went as far as doing some training with their staff, and then I contacted restaurants around there that could have a group, a decent sized group, and talked to them, talked to the managers, gave them tips on how to serve blind people, talked to museums. We set things up for great tactile experiences with a couple of museums. And I put this trip together for this sweet gentleman who has now passed. But he got to enjoy a train ride.
Well, I love that, Debbie, because the key words before you on, I just want to bring notice to what you said about contacting the staff and training and showing them and helping
The
them to learn,
awareness and the
yes,
preparation.
how to deal
Yes.
with us as blind people. I think
Hmm.
that should be noted because, it's one thing to plan a trip on our side, but planning it on the receiving side is just as valuable as well. So good job with that.
So, it's nice whenever businesses get a heads up that you're going to bring a big group, but it's even doubly nice that you take the time out to prepare them for the type of group that you are bringing. And I know, like with the restaurant staff, especially, and even with the museums, because at that time, gosh, almost 10 years ago, we were just starting to see a shift toward museums embracing, inclusivity. So it's like, okay, we have people with disabilities visiting our museum. How can we accommodate them? And so taking that time to help educate the docents and stuff and their people on how to accommodate people with visual impairment made a big, big difference at that point in time, a decade ago, And so they really appreciated the fact that it's like, yes, help us learn how we can serve you better. And so I'm glad to advocate for that and to expand awareness in that way, because so many times John Q. Public out there may not have been exposed to a blind person at all in their life.
Absolutely. Say that again, Debbie. You
Yeah.
are.
And it all of a sudden you have a group of 20, 25 people that all of a sudden you have their white canes and their guide dogs, and they go, wow, these people are blind. Where did they come from? I know there's blind people out there, but I didn't know they exist.
So Debbie, okay, so we have your socializing. Um, One thing that I did not ask before, and I just want to, where is MLV based? Like, where are you set in one location? Are you all over?
Virtual. Yeah.
Well, we are in the Midwest. I started out in Oklahoma and then have moved to Missouri, but my focus is on Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas, right here in the four-state region. So I like to try to do things that will encompass our little region. And so whenever I was able to move home, because Carthage was where I was born and raised, and throughout the last 3 or 4 years, my family has passed on, and I inherited the family farm again. And so we have relocated up here so that we can build a community for the blind and put a training center over here. So that's kind of where we're based out of. So
Wow. That's really nice.
Awesome. So, and then I know, and I've heard about it for many years. I would love to be able to attend one year. What about the Mocha Conference? Tell us about that.
Mocha, of course, is not coffee related, even though
But
we've
it
thought
sounds
several
so
times
cute
about,
though.
I know, it's a great marketing
Yeah,
plug, right?
yes.
Real,
Maybe you should
yes.
put a coffee theme with it or
Right.
something.
Yes.
But it's actually for Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas. So it stands for it's our acronym for our 4 states. And I started planning this back in 2018 because I saw such a need for a conference just to help us with the blind life. Because you have your membership based conferences, the NFB, the ACB, state and national, and they deal a lot with advocacy and, of course, a membership based. So you have meetings upon meetings upon meetings.
Right.
Uh,
Say it one more time.
and
Meetings.
Robert rules of order,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Yes.
so it's like, but that doesn't help me know how to do voiceover on my phone. It doesn't help me know how to find matching outfits or apply makeup or help my husband know how to help me, my caregivers. So we still need something's missing. And there's also, there's the conferences and conventions for those who are the professionals. So your rehab teachers, your O&Ms, your ATs, they can go to professional level conferences, but you're still missing the boat on how to encourage a bunch of blind people to live the blind life.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Yes,
so
indeed.
I saw that need and it's like, there again, I picked up my little knitting needles and I
Yeah.
started
And
knitting my own.
started knitting away.
She
So
said, let's make
there
another
you
carpet for
go.
this.
That's
Yes.
Yes.
right. So here I am. I'm planning a conference for us, and I've got breakout sessions on 3 different tracks for technology, independent living, and support. I'm building in things that can help parents of blind children, caregivers, so that everybody who comes, there's something for everybody. And so we've got the breakout sessions, we've got keynote speakers, I work my butt off really hard on getting a great exhibit hall. And so we had 35 vendors, I think, at this last one.
That is really awesome, like amazing. So also, Ms. Debbie, we see that you have that adapted sports field there. See that you're involved with that. Tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yes. Um, Here on my property, we've got 35 acres. I had this little piece that's like, what do we do with it? Just last year we were running cattle on it, but it's like it just kind of sat there. I was involved with helping get the Oklahoma beat baseball program restarted for them to prepare for the World Series that was held there last year. And so I just thought, once I started researching more and more about the beat baseball and what it required and hearing about, well, we don't have any place to play, blah, 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 where it's too hard to find some place to play because you can't play on a baseball field because you don't play on the infield, a dirt infield. You play on more like a soccer field. So anyway, I've got Google Earth opened up, and I have enough vision left where I can see, my stuff on my computer, and I can still read. And I've got it zoomed in. It's like, and it has with Google Earth, it's got a little ruler so you can measure acreage or whatever else. So I was measuring this, and I knew that a beat baseball field required 200 feet by 200 feet. So I'm sitting there on this little weird piece of our land, and I'm like, got this little measuring stick out, and I'm sitting here on Google Earth, and I'm just drawing a square around here. And it's like, oh, 200, I got it. I
No.
can put
Oh,
a baseball
wow.
field here.
Amazing. Yes. Wow.
Yes.
I've actually heard about that scrimmage that they had out there. I didn't know that. That's really amazing.
So that's what we I got some grant funds from some wonderful foundations to help us. We basically had to scrape off all the pasture grass, reseed it, and make it level because in this area, we have a lot of rocks. So we cleared we cleared all the rocks off, and I didn't have to bring any topsoil in or anything. We were fortunate for that. We just leveled it out. It was pretty level to begin with, but we just made sure it was nice and even. And so we got all that done, spread more seed on it, and got that done. About 3 days afterwards, we had a really big, heavy rain, and it washed away a lot of our seed that we just spent all
Oh,
this money
wow.
on putting it in. So, we had just a really awful wet spring, and it delayed us having our opening game. So we moved it back to June 29th. So it's only been a few weeks really since we had our first exhibition. And but I'm so excited to have it open and for the possibilities of what we're going to be able to do with it because I knew, here we are in the middle of nowhere, and most of our beat baseball teams are urban based because you have a bigger pool of people to draw from. And so I thought, well, we can't just dedicate this just as a beat baseball field. So what other adaptive sports can I play on this 200 by 200 piece of property? So I found beep kickball, which is played, just like beep baseball, but with the big rubber ball that you play with in school, and so we've got it. You have the same basis. So, okay, that's two different sports I can play on there. And then I heard about blind archery.
Yep, that's another
And
one.
archery is big in the blind community in
Mhm.
Europe, but it hasn't really taken off here. And I'm hoping to change that.
Oh, it's on its way.
So,
It's on
Oh
its
yeah,
way. I've heard a
it
few.
definitely is.
Hmm.
so we've got space there now to do blind archery. And then I learned that the Paralympics was looking to build a team of blind soccer to play in the Paralympics in LA in 2028. So they're in a recruiting and building phase for blind soccer. And I was looking at the regulations for that and everything, and it's like, okay, that will fit on this field too. Because it's 5-a-side, and it's not like your regular big soccer fields. So anyway, so that gives me 4 sports to play on this field that we can use this for different camps, for exhibitions and demos and tournaments. And I'm just so excited for what we're going to be able to do on that.
That's awesome that you have that going, Ms. Debbie, because it's such a need, like the fields and such, and just having another place to be able to go play and just have the opportunity to be around blind athletes and just share that competitive spirit. That is a beautiful thing.
All right, Miss Debbie. So why don't you tell us? I know we have to wait, unfortunately, till 2026 for the MOCA conference, in which I will be waiting, anticipating. But
Definitely waiting for that. Can't wait for that
but
for sure.
what do we have? What can we expect or look for from MLV in the meantime?
Well, I've got a couple other programs that I'm working on. One is our Orbit Training Center for the Blind. Should be opening up next year in 2025. And we'll be able to do independent living skills, assistive technology. And so I'm excited to have that opening up. And then we also are working on our Gardening by Touch program.
Nice.
So, we're here on a farm, so why not learn how to do some horticulture?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And whether you grow herbs or whether you grow flowers or your own vegetable garden, it's really good to get into the organics of that and to be able to. There's nothing quite like growing your own food and saying, "Hey, I produced this.
Right?
Absolutely.
That
My
feeling
hands
is
produced
amazing.
this."
Mhm.
And blind
So
people can do it too. That's the
Yes,
thing.
indeed.
right.
Let's
Yes,
do
Yep.
indeed.
this. All right.
Absolutely. And
So,
even especially with technology, how you can marry in technology with this,
oh
because like,
yes.
okay, I can put, I don't necessarily want to endorse necessarily different products, but there's some things out there that
Yes.
are really cool, like weight
Right.
tags.
Yes.
You can put
Oh
the weight
yes.
tags on your things to know, okay, this is corn, this is
Right.
Mm-hmm.
okra, this
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
is whatever kind of lettuce I'm doing, and you can use that for your gardening stuff, and it's pretty
There's
awesome.
ways. There's
So many
definite
ways to
ways.
modify it and get things done, and
And
that's so
it
amazing.
is. And I always say, guys, we just, we can't do things the same anymore. For those of us that went blind, but we just have to do things differently now. But it's
Hmm.
still possible. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and thank you so much, Miss Debbie. So, where and how can our listeners find out more information about MLB, or how can they reach you, and what is the process for applying or becoming a part of your programs?
Well, our website is mlvfoundation.org. And again, that's a V as in Victor, not B as in baseball. And we have a Facebook page, MLV Foundation. When we get ready to start promoting for the MOCA conference, I have a MOCA CFB, which is MOKA, Conference for the Blind, CFB. I have a Facebook page for that. And the actual mocacfb.com website for that particular program that we do. So, you can just go on and say, add me to your mailing list, contact me, whatever, send me an email, and I'll put you on our email list. And I'm not real good at sending out and bombarding people with a bunch of emails. I try to send them out once a month. Sometimes if I don't have anything going on, I don't necessarily get them out. So, if I have something that's really important to communicate, I'll put it out there. If I don't, I don't.
And you're doing a great job. Thank you. We appreciate you. Also, Debbie, make sure, we would love to be a part and share your grand opening of your center, your living center, with our listeners as well. So please come back to the table. Don't let this be your only time.
Yes, indeed.
Anytime you would like us to help spread awareness, please let us know.
Always welcome to the table.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so we welcome you and we thank you so much for coming to share with our listeners.
Thank you.
Blind table talk, yeah.
All right. Y'all know what time it is. It is time to get into our BVI relationship talk. What you got on the table for us tonight, Sassy?
All right, well, this is a question that was posed in our Facebook group and there was comments made, but we're just going to give our little 2 cents on it. So this question was pertaining to when you're in a relationship, whether it be marriage, long term, however it may be. And I think the question basically is just more so, are you allowed to hang out with your friends outside of your significant other? I think that's the gist of it. What do you think?
Yes, indeed. Like, what? I'm sorry. We all are our individual selves, and we unify together to be as one. But to maintain my individual self, we still have separate things, and we have friends that we've had kind of before the relationship and doing so. I say yes. You should be allowed to have those friends outside. I mean, I just feel you're going to have those friends outside the relationship, and you're going to have separate interests, and it's okay to do those things, and it's good to come back together and do what y'all do together, and y'all were common interests and things like that. But I say yes, indeed, it's definitely okay to have separate interests and separate friends. What you say, Sassy? Am I just being too much of a man about it?
No, because here's the thing. Now, I don't want to, shout out to those couples that have every interest the same and enjoy each other's company
Real talk.
24/7 because they're
Yeah,
they're out there. So
yeah.
I don't want to diminish
You
that
don't see Jack
relationship.
without Jane, like for
Right. And
real.
there is. And I have friends that I know that if I invite one, it's automatic. I'm already RSVPing for two because
Yeah,
they're both gonna come no matter
yeah.
what I mean, it can be a freaking baby shower with all women, that person is going to bring
Mm-mm.
her man with her,
The game
you
on.
know,
You be okay.
which, you
You
know,
got a boo.
and that's okay. You know, that's okay to those. I just feel there are, I still want to do me.
Yeah.
And as much as I may enjoy the company of my significant other, if I want to be with that person for, all day long, I need to breathe.
Real.
I think that's where the problems come in. When you're with somebody and you're just in their face 24/7, 24/7, and it can start. And I've done it before, and that's the thing. That's all I know is not for me, anyways. There
Give
are
me time to
others.
miss you. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, well, that's what
We'll
it's
come back
supposed
and
to be,
intervene later and hey, be explosive. But
you know. And it's also not good to, and then when you do go out and have, your time outside of your interests and with other people, that other person that is not with you, don't sit there and call my phone 24/7 like every minute just to talk or to see what I'm doing or how I'm
not
doing,
real.
or because that messes up, that you're taking that away from me,
Yeah.
you know. You should allow, if that's the dynamic. Sometimes it's known up
Sometimes
front
it
how
is
it is.
established that way. Real
Yeah,
talk.
right, exactly. And then that becomes a different behavior if all of a sudden now you want to start
Nah,
doing things on
why
your
you not
own.
sending no text message back? Like, what's going on here? What you out there doing? I'm on the baseball field. You know
Right.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Practicing.
exactly. Right,
Like
exactly.
my phone, it's okay. It's
But
okay.
even away from that, there are some things that I may not want to do that you would want to do, and that's okay too. Like I don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
don't, and I get supporting one another. Now, if it was something and I said, you know what, I would really like you to go. I know you don't want to, but can you come with me? That's different. But don't automatically include yourself in my plans if I'm, planning something, or if something is going on. I might just want to be out on my own. And some people, I think, get caught up in not wanting to hurt that other person's feelings, or,
That
and
type of
so
jazz. Yeah.
yeah, and so what happens is you end up resenting one another, or somebody ends up resenting somebody.
Or just feeling crowded, just like they
Yes,
just never
yes,
could do anything, just, for the alone for the moment. It's no really me
right.
time. So, I mean, I get
Yeah,
it, but like we said, shout outs to those who have that
yeah, because
dynamic of, one and two is one. Like that's that's what it is, and that's cool. I know that's crazy what I just said, but yeah, know I'm talking about the
you
couple.
know what but the thing about that one, okay, so for the couple that I know, like they're happy with that, they love that.
Yeah.
In order for either whatever it is, if it's you do your own thing or you just do each other, I don't know.
However,
However it is, you
whatever.
both have to be in agreement with it. That at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that's what it
Yes,
is.
indeed.
If
Yes,
one
indeed.
person is not okay with it, it's
It's
not
not gonna work.
gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
So
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 that
yeah,
that y'all have it, y'all.
there is our
Yeah,
2 cents,
yeah.
which, comes in, I don't know, two
That's
cents.
the love for the day.
So but I do, not to cut
Uh-oh.
that off, but here goes one of those announcements that we were talking
One of them big
about,
ones. Hey, I've
right?
been waiting to drop this on the table like a domino.
So, we hear your voices, we hear what you said, your feedback. There
Mhm.
was, we talk about relationships, we talk about love, we talk
All the
about
time.
dating, we talk
Yeah,
about all this stuff.
yeah.
And,
What they
you
want.
know, our community does have, some shortage and the abilities of dating and finding dates and all that stuff. So
So
we
what we gonna do?
we are going to bring the BTT dating game.
Hey, it is time, y'all.
Yes. So for our listeners that have been with us for a minute, we were working and trying to do this, last a couple of years ago. No, last year. I think it was the beginning of last year. We had announced that we were going to do the BTT dating game,
Betting
and
game,
then
right?
the fire happened and the whole house
Yeah.
burned down thing and all that. So we kind of put everything on pause, but
Now we're bringing it back
we're
out.
bringing it back. So BTT dating game coming soon. It is, I mean, I don't know, because it was kind of old, like I'm dating my time, but some of you may not know the original dating game, but it's that format, but it's going to be virtual. And we'll have one contestant, and there will be 3 potential daters. I don't know what we calling them. We got to think of something cuter to call them. But
Yeah, but
so
basically, you're gonna have 3 participants to choose from, and it's gonna be choose off of the responses and answers that we're going to be providing and how they respond to them.
yeah, so the contestant will choose the questions. It's what they want to know.
Right.
As the contestant, what are the answers or questions that are important to you when dating a person? So you'll come up with those. You'll ask the questions. Some people, might answer good. Some people
Hopefully
might
you
answer
answer
no.
correctly, and
So
you never know.
I'm excited about that, though, guys. This is like a long time in the making. And so I want you all to be on the lookout, and don't be shy, y'all.
Please
I
don't.
know there's a lot of
This is gonna be
singles
fun.
out there, and you can come, and I know
My
men,
fellas, hey,
ladies, men,
don't swallow
whichever.
swallow it, baby. Swallow the pride. It's all
Yes,
good.
this is
You know
going
what
to be
I'm talking
fun,
about?
though.
Hey,
It's going
for
to be
sure.
fun. And so then you will have a virtual date, and it will be on us. So we will
We got
pay for
y'all
your
BTT style, baby.
we will pay for your virtual date. So basically it's going to be, an Uber Eats gift cards will be sent to you each, and then you will have your little virtual date, and then you'll come back
Yeah.
and share with us so that we can find out what
How
happened. So
y'all enjoyed yourselves?
yes, or not enjoy
Yeah, hey, I mean,
yourselves.
hopefully there's going to only be good stories, but
Yes, but
if
you
it
never
didn't go
know.
well, let us know.
So y'all be on the lookout for, in our Facebook page, on our email list, join the email list so that you can be one of the first to know about it. You will be receiving the questionnaires will be posted and going out to not, I guess the application is what we can call it, but to be a participant on the game show and be looking for that.
Please be looking out for it. Coming to y'all soon.
The BTT dating game.
Blind table talking.
Alrighty, y'all. So it looks like we have came to the end of our show. Man, we're so happy that y'all sat down with us. But before we go, we still have a couple of special announcements that we want to provide to y'all and share with y'all. So, hey, Sassy, drop it for them.
Oh my God. Okay. I get so giddy when I get to announce this stuff.
Hey, because I'm so happy about this announcement here. Like, ooh, yo.
Listeners, I want you all, like my pause, right? That's my delay in
BSA.
We will now have coming to the table something that you guys are going to love. Anyways, I'll stop drowning it out.
Let's token of love and appreciation.
It is the BTT Awards, y'all. So,
yes, she said it. BTT Award.
Not
show.
BET.
No.
But BTT, Blind Table Talk Awards.
Yes.
This is going to be where we celebrate and recognize the achievements and accomplishments in our blind and visually impaired community.
Yes, for our visionary leaderships and the ones who have impacted our community as well. Like this is for y'all.
Well, yes. I mean, we have different awards. So there's going to be different awards that we'll be giving. Okay. So we'll have, like you said, the different awards that we'll have. We'll have Entertainer of the Year, one for entrepreneur achievements. We'll have, like the different organizations that are out there. We want to have awards for them. So it's just going to be different ones. The categories will be listed out in detail.
And y'all going to get a nominate for them here soon.
And yes, it will be the nomination forms will be going up where the instructions on how to nominate. And this is where we need y'all to step up, y'all.
Right.
We don't know everything.
Nope.
This is our community. You guys are the ones who
tell us. There's a lot of people
us.
out here doing big things, man.
There is. So if you have somebody you want to nominate for an award, or nominate yourself.
Yeah.
That's allowed too.
organization, entertainer, community leader, like, you know, we out here. Anything.
Once we share the details of each award, then you can decide who can fit where for you, and you can nominate. So stay tuned for more information about that, y'all. We're so excited. I mean, it's going to be a big thing, and this is going to be the first, but it will not be the last. We are going to be trying to do this as an annual event so that we can recognize everybody on
things change throughout the years, man, and you know, everybody come up and just do big things, and we just want to recognize everybody, y'all, that's in our community that's just out here doing it. So
yes. So what's the other thing that we have? We have one more thing.
We back at it again. So BTT will be back on Clubhouse, y'all. Y'all really need to go ahead and come out and support us. We're calling it our BTT Tap In, where y'all gonna get to sit down with us live and just chop it up with us about the show, you know, the most recent shows, and just give us a feedback about it, you know, and we looking forward to that. I can't wait to be back on Clubhouse.
Well, you know, and just for our listeners who may not know, we actually started on Clubhouse.
Yeah, for real.
This was a Clubhouse thing before we were even a podcast. So we just started in rooms on Clubhouse, and, you know, had some great feedback and great entertainment in those rooms, and I'm telling y'all,
we brought them, but to be back on that platform and to, you know, sit down and have this opportunity for y'all to come and just tap in with us and let us know what y'all think about the show and what's going on.
And not only that, but to ask, you know, give us some topic ideas, some suggestions. Tell us what you want to see us discuss and see at the table. You know, we want to just open it up so that you can come yourself. Sometimes people don't always want to email us or any of that things, but if you're on Clubhouse, drop by and just, if you don't want to say nothing else, just come by and say hey.
Yeah, just come hang out.
Right. All right. So, all right. Oh, well, we forgot the most important thing. That's going to be Saturday nights, you know, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time. So it's every Saturday. It gives you enough time. Our shows drop midnight on Friday and Saturday. Listen to the show, or listen to last week's show. Come and talk about any show. Listen to an old show and come talk. That's okay too. So
yes, indeed.
So look for us Saturday nights, y'all. We're back on Clubhouse, where it all began.
Hey, you already know, before we let them go, we gotta drop that motivational gem on the table for them. You know, words of encouragement for our listeners.
Yes. So our motivation quote of the week: our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to always try just one more time.
Hey, real talk.
And that is a quote that's we can, I mean, anything that can apply to it. You can say that every time.
Anything. Just keep your head up, keep stepping, don't give up, y'all. Just keep trying one more time.
With our motivational quotes, you know, we started our weekly challenges as well. So this week's challenge. Okay.
This week's challenge is, we want y'all to try at something that you failed at just one more time. Just
one more again.
Pick it up. Try it again.
Yeah, just one. Anything that you failed at or that you failed. Sometimes, you know, other people may not think we failed, but you, as your own self, may think you failed. Well, guess what? Try it again.
Try it again, and
one more time.
And just let us know. You know, once you do so, just come on to the Facebook group and just drop a little post in there for a raffle.
Actually, we're gonna do the post. So we'll do the raffle post.
And you just drop your link. There we go.
And you drop it in there, and your challenge is accepted, and tell us how and what you did, and share with us. It's okay.
It's gonna be for a raffle, y'all.
Yes, and you'll be entered into the raffle. You absolutely will. So.
And also, shout out to our last month raffle winners. You know,
Speaking of raffles, yes.
speaking of raffles, the ones
raffles.
who they liked one of our posts, comments on one of our posts for the raffle, they subscribed on YouTube, and they also sent in the email. So we appreciate y'all for supporting us and just just coming through and dropping that little knowledge. So hey, shout out to our winners.
Yes. Well, who was our winners? Let's announce them.
Mr. Greg Jones.
Greg Jones, he was the actual winner. He was our email list subscriber. He was that winner.
Hey, we appreciate you, my guy. For sure.
And who's the next name we
Miss
have?
Gabby White. Hey.
Gabby White was our YouTube subscriber winner. That
Yes,
was
indeed.
our subscriber winner. And who's the last one?
And Miss Sammy Lou, we really appreciate you.
Miss Sammy Lou, she was our Facebook group participation winners. So those are the 3 winners that we had for you this month. Now, y'all know you have a whole month to enter the raffle. You can enter all of them. So
Ain't no reason.
yes, absolutely.
Y'all want these free goodies? Y'all know how to come get them. Email us, like, subscribe, and share, or just comment on the Facebook in the Facebook group. That simple.
Absolutely. So, all right, y'all. I think we've talked enough, right?
I think we dropped enough on the table.
So,
I call domino.
Right? Don't be slamming them things on my table.
Oh, I'm slamming bones, baby. Come on, you already know what.
Don't chip my table.
Hey, back boy, bow. Let's get it.
Thank you all so much for joining us
Real talk.
and staying this
It's
long
been
to
fun.
listen to everybody and listen to us. So we appreciate you all, your
All
support,
day long.
and stay tuned for what's coming to the table next, y'all.
Y'all know where to find us. You know your favorite table. Be blessed, y'all.
Blind table talking.